Sarah McClay incident. On May 24, 2013, visitors at South Lakes Wild Animal Park in Cumbria, UK, were enjoying a routine day observing exotic animals. Behind the scenes, a 24-year-old zookeeper was performing her regular duties caring for some of the park's most dangerous residents. She had worked at the facility for several years and was known for her dedication to animal welfare. The park housed several Sumatran tigers, an endangered species with fewer than 400 remaining in the wild. These tigers can weigh up to 310 pounds and are capable of killing prey with a single bite to the neck. The enclosure was designed with a series of interlocking doors and barriers to prevent direct contact between keepers and tigers. At approximately 3:30 p.m., something went wrong. A mechanical failure occurred in one of the security doors. The sliding bolt mechanism that should have locked automatically had developed a defect. When inspected later, investigators found the metal had worn down from repeated use, creating a gap of just 8 millimeters, enough to prevent a complete lock. As she moved between sections of the enclosure, the keeper was unaware that the barrier had not fully secured. The tiger, a male named Padang, pushed through the unsecured door. Witnesses reported hearing screams. The park immediately initiated emergency protocols, but staff could not reach her quickly enough. The tiger dragged her body into an enclosed section of the habitat. When rescuers finally gained access, they found she had suffered catastrophic injuries to her neck and head. The bite force of a Sumatran tiger exceeds 1,000 pounds per square inch, crushing the vertebrae and severing major blood vessels. Death would have occurred within minutes. Gian Rankarasamy incident. On March 12, 2025, Safari World in Bangkok was operating as usual, with tourists driving through exhibits to view wildlife from the safety of their vehicles. The 58-year-old veteran zookeeper had worked at the facility for over 2 decades. He was responsible for monitoring animal behavior and maintaining safety protocols in the lion enclosure, an 8-acre habitat that housed a pride of 7 African lions. The morning had been routine, with temperatures reaching 91 degrees Fahrenheit by midday. At approximately 2:15 p.m., security cameras captured the zookeeper exiting his maintenance vehicle inside the drive-thru exhibit. He had spotted something on the ground, later identified as a fallen monitoring device, and decided to retrieve it. The lions were resting approximately 75 feet away under acacia trees. Park regulations strictly prohibited staff from exiting vehicles in predator zones, but the keeper appeared to believe the distance was sufficient for safety. As he bent down to pick up the device, he momentarily turned his back to the lion pride. A male lion weighing approximately 420 pounds noticed the movement and approached IE silently from behind. Witnesses in a nearby tour bus described seeing the lion accelerate suddenly to attack speed. The first strike knocked the keeper to the ground. Within seconds, 3 additional lions joined the attack. Security footage showed the keeper was still conscious and fighting to escape as the animals dragged him deeper into the habitat. Other staff members attempted to intervene with air horns and emergency vehicles, but could not safely approach. The attack continued for 14 minutes. When rescue teams finally reached him using protective barriers, the keeper had suffered catastrophic blood loss from multiple deep lacerations to his neck and torso. Maddox Durkush incident. On November 4, 2012, the Pittsburgh Zoo was filled with families enjoying a mild autumn Sunday. The African painted dog exhibit was a popular attraction, featuring a pack of 11 wild dogs, a species known for their distinctive mottled coats and exceptional hunting efficiency. A 2-year-old boy was visiting the zoo with his mother. The exhibit was designed with a viewing platform that stood 14 feet above the enclosure. A 4-foot wooden railing separated visitors from the edge, with a sloped area beyond it leading to a protective mesh intended to catch dropped items. At approximately 11:45 a.m., the mother lifted her son onto the railing for a better view. In an instant, he lost his balance. Security footage later showed he bounced once on the sloped surface before sliding through a gap in the catch net. The 14-foot fall took less than 1 second. Witnesses reported hearing the impact as he landed in the enclosure below. The pack's reaction was immediate. African painted dogs are among the most efficient predators on the planet, with a hunting success rate of over 80%. They typically hunt in coordinated packs, bringing down prey much larger than themselves. Zoo staff responded within 30 seconds, using fire extinguishers and loud noises in an attempt to scare the animals away. By then, at least 7 dogs had already reached the child. The first responders described the attack as frenzied. 1 dog was shot by police, but the others had already inflicted catastrophic injuries. Multiple major arteries were severed by the dog's specialized shearing teeth, designed to quickly dismember prey. The rapid blood loss meant that, despite medical teams arriving within minutes, there was no chance of survival. The entire incident, from fall to fatal injury, lasted approximately 4 minutes. Hellbrunn Zoo incident. On August 7, 2023, morning routines were underway at Hellbrunn Zoo in Salzburg, Austria. A 33-year-old female zookeeper from Bavaria, Germany, was performing standard care procedures in the rhino enclosure. Her husband, age 34, was working in an adjacent area. The facility housed a 2-ton white rhinoceros named Jetty, a 12-year-old male with a horn measuring approximately 28 inches in length. White rhinos are typically considered the least aggressive of all rhino species, which is why many zoos permit direct keeper interaction. At 6:15 a.m., the keeper entered the enclosure to apply insect repellent to Jetty's skin, a routine summer procedure to protect the animal from biting flies. According to the zoo's protocols, she had worked with this specific animal for over 3 years without incident. Security footage later showed the rhino appeared calm as the procedure began. Then, without warning signs typically associated with aggression, Jetty suddenly swung his massive head toward the keeper. The primary impact point was her chest. The force was equivalent to being hit by a car moving at 30 miles per hour. Witnesses reported hearing ribs crack from outside the enclosure. The trauma instantly collapsed her left lung and ruptured her aorta, the main artery from the heart. Her husband heard the commotion and immediately entered the enclosure to help. As he approached, the rhino charged again. The second keeper was struck in the leg, causing a complex femoral fracture. Despite his injury, he managed to reach the emergency call button. By the time additional staff arrived with tranquilizer equipment 1 minute later, the female keeper was already showing signs of cardiac arrest from internal bleeding. Medical responders arrived 4 minutes after the initial impact but found no pulse. The massive trauma to her thoracic cavity had caused death within approximately 60 seconds of impact. Harambee incident. On May 28, 2016, Cincinnati Zoo was crowded with visitors enjoying the Memorial Day weekend. Among the zoo's residents was a 17-year-old western lowland gorilla weighing approximately 400 pounds. The gorilla exhibit consisted of a viewing area separated from the habitat by a 15-foot drop into a moated enclosure. Barriers included a 3-foot-high railing, 4 feet of bushes, and a wire fence. At approximately 3:40 p.m., a 3-year-old boy managed to climb through these barriers. Security footage showed it took less than 30 seconds for him to navigate all 3 obstacles before falling into the moat. The impact was heard by numerous witnesses. The water in the moat was approximately 1.5 feet deep. The child was visibly stunned, but conscious after the fall. Harambee, who had been inside the habitat, immediately approached the child. Zoo staff initiated emergency protocols within 10 seconds of the fall. Witnesses described seeing Harambee grab the child and drag him through the water. Medical experts later explained that a gorilla's grip strength is approximately 6 times stronger than an adult human's, capable of crushing bones with minimal effort. For 10 minutes, Harambee alternated between gentle handling and violent dragging of the child. The gorilla's behavior was increasingly erratic and unpredictable. Zoo officials faced a critical decision. Tranquilizers would take several minutes to take effect and could potentially agitate the gorilla, putting the child at greater risk. At 3:52 p.m., the Dangerous Animal Response Team made the decision to use lethal force. A single shot from a rifle struck Harambee in the head. The bullet caused instantaneous brain death, and the 400-pound animal collapsed immediately. The child was retrieved seconds later, having suffered only minor injuries despite being handled by an animal capable of tearing limbs apart with minimal effort. Alexei Melnikov incident. On April 23, 2025, Mariupol Zoo was operating under new management in the occupied eastern region. A 41-year-old zookeeper was beginning his morning duties at the big cat enclosures. He had worked with large felines for over 15 years at various facilities. The zoo housed a rare white Bengal tigress named Lucy, approximately 7 years old and weighing 380 pounds. White tigers possess the same predatory instincts as their orange counterparts, with jaws capable of exerting 1,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. The enclosure was designed with the main habitat area connected to a separate holding pen via a hydraulic door system. Standard protocol required keepers to confirm the location of the tiger before entering any part of the enclosure. At 7:20 a.m., security cameras captured the keeper approaching the habitat. He appeared to check the electronic display panel, which should have indicated the tigress's location. Later investigation revealed a sensor malfunction showed Lucy was secured in the holding area when she was actually inside a wooden sleeping den in the main habitat. The keeper entered through the service door, carrying cleaning equipment and fresh meat for feeding. The den's dark interior completely concealed the tigress. As the keeper moved to the center of the enclosure, Lucy emerged suddenly from the den. Witnesses described the attack as explosive, with the tiger covering 20 feet in under 1 second. The initial impact knocked the keeper to the ground. Lucy's first bite targeted his head, a typical hunting technique used to immobilize prey. The tigress's canine teeth, approximately 4 inches long, penetrated his skull. Other staff members responded to the commotion within 30 seconds, but could not safely enter. From the security monitors, they observed the keeper was still moving slightly as the tigress maintained her grip. By the time the emergency response team arrived with tranquilizer guns 4 minutes later, the movements had stopped. The bite force had crushed his skull, causing immediate brain hemorrhage and death. If you want to see more videos like this, click the video on screen now and make sure to subscribe.